13 Sports with J.B. Bowersfield.
Hey everybody, it would be easy to understand if Kansas State and West Virginia had one eye on next week's contest with first place in the Big 12 on the line. After all, that's what most of the K-State fans have been talking about this week. But if you think Bill Snyder was going to let his team look past Iowa State today, you haven't been paying close attention to the Wildcat football program the last 2 decades. Cyclones, though, have earned a reputation as giant killers the past few years, looking good early on. This is Jared Barnett to Chantrell Johnson, and the Clones are up 7-6 early on. Snyder's team trying to come from behind now. Optimus Klein would respond. Colin Klein from 2 yards out puts the Cats back on top, 10-7. This one would go back and forth, though. After Tremaine Thompson muffed punt, Barnett airing it out, but Ty Zimmerman there with the interception, and the Junction City product takes it all the way back out to the 23. Drive would stall for K-State. Iowa State has it again. Barnett on the run, but he's going to bring those passing icons back up and find Ernst Brunst all the way down into the end zone, stretches for the pylon, and that puts Iowa State out in front by 4. Klein, though, would find the end zone again from 6 yards out this time, follows the blockers, and K-State's up to the tune of 17-14. Klein now with a hat trick, looking to pass, but doesn't like what he sees and finds pay dirt on the right side. 12-yard scamper puts the Wildcats in front 24-14, out in front by 2 scores. But Iowa State not going anywhere. The option pitch has Jeff Woody beating Arthur Brown across the goal line as Iowa State cuts it to 3 points, but Kansas State would add a late field goal and the defense would hold as the Cats get the win, 27-21. Kent O'Kelly has more on this contest from Ames.
When Kansas State took the field today in Ames, the largest crowd in the history of Jack Trice Stadium awaited them, and they made themselves heard. The Cats were forced to call their first half timeouts earlier than expected with communication issues on the field and on the sideline.
That crowd was pretty loud, and they kind of distract us on some of the plays, on third down plays. But, you know, like we said, we fought through it, and we came out with a great win.
I definitely felt the energy and heard the noise. You know, they brought a lot of energy, you know, to the game. So, you know, we appreciate that as players, and I know they definitely do.
They kept it rocking though, especially you know, our offense was out there and it was a 3rd and short, and you know it was loud, and all of a sudden they kind of kicked it up out of nowhere, and you know it definitely got loud. And I was impressed.
The Wildcats were uncharacteristically penalized 9 times for 62 yards, enough to make any coach cringe.
9 penalties, oh my goodness. You know, it was just something that was uncharacteristic. We've been able to keep under control all year, and you know, it got us today. And just a reminder, and thankfully we were able to learn with a win, and I mean, we got to clean that up. There's no doubt about it. That's not how we play.
That's tremendously out of character for us. We have been the least penalized team in the country, and now we became the most penalized team in the country. You know, that's a matter of discipline. It's a matter of it's a lot of things. Part of it is discipline and focus, and that means we didn't coach them well, me in particular.
Well, we have to, you know, as a team, you know, do our best to eliminate all penalties because we know they can be a crucial element to the game. So, you know, just lucky enough, we still came out on top this one.
The Wildcats can now fully turn their attention to the West Virginia Mountaineers and their showdown in Morgantown next Saturday. From Jack Trice Stadium, Kent O'Kelly, 13 Sports.
Thanks, Kent. That contest lost a bit of its luster today when West Virginia was crushed at Texas Tech. Geno Smith and the number 5 Mountaineers put up just 2 touchdowns in a 49-14 stunner. Well, Dane Christ has been disappointing so far this season for Kansas, missing open receivers in clutch situations. Charlie Weiss, though, has stood by his signal caller so far until today. More on that in just a minute. First, this game was delayed by lightning late in the first quarter. 1 hour and 19 minutes, in fact. Back to the action, though, as Oklahoma State looking to knock off Kansas. J.W. Walsh, though, his pass gets tipped, and it's picked off by Lubbock Smith. KU with the ball inside the 30 and in business, but the Hawks would turn it over on downs. OSU taking advantage of their trip into the red zone. Walsh faking the handoff, keeping it himself, 7-0 Cowboys, as Okie State would go up 10-0 at the break. Into the third quarter now. Walsh going to swing it out to Charlie Moore, and a missed tackle plus a big block would mean off to the races for Moore. 72 yards to pay dirt as the Pokes go out 17-0. It would be 20-0 in the fourth quarter when Dane Christ was pulled. In replacement, It's Michael Cummings, and he looks awful good. Scrambling here, finds Jimmy Mundine with a catch, and he goes 22 yards to the house. And KU's making a little noise. Hang on a second. Cummings has KU in business. Hand off to James Sims. He goes 30 yards, and the Jayhawks are down just 6 points. KU, however, would get no closer. A running into the kicker penalty spoiled the last defensive stop as OSU wins it 20-14.
We've blown games in the fourth quarter. We didn't rally in the fourth quarter. Today we rallied. This was not a team that was waiting for something bad to happen. For the first time, this was a team trying to make something good happen.
Well, we talked about how we fought and played well in the fourth quarter. Like I said, we really haven't done that much this year, and it was really the first time that we could play to our full potential in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, a loss is a loss.
Washburn and Emporia State are a combined 11-1, but neither team has played an opponent with a winning record so far this season. That changed today as the competition ramped up for both the Hornets and the Ichabods, hosting foes with winning ledgers. Washburn hosting 4-2 Truman State in their last season in the conference. This game would be delayed by the weather as well. More on that in a second. But first, Washburn on their first drive. Mitch Bueller goes 5 yards through the air to Ryan Mertz, because there's Mertz and there's not exactly. Bonds take a 7-0 lead. At the end of the first quarter, though, here is our first of 2 weather delays. This one would last 42 minutes. And then later on in the half, after a Bulldog field goal, Conrad Schottel picked off by Willie Williams. And Willie Williams to the house, 14-3, Washburn on top. Shortly, though, before the half, keyed by a big kick return, Garrett White from 1 yard out has the game down to just 4 points at the half. The second would be delayed by weather again, 82 minutes this time. But Craig Schurg's Ichabods would get out to the big lead in the third quarter, hang on to win 35-24. They improved to 6-1. The guys talked about what they did during that long delay.
We basically just sat in the locker room and kind of went over strategies and stuff like that, what we seen on the field. But a lot of sitting around, a lot of talking. So it was kind of hard to get up, but I'm glad we did.
It's nice having your own locker room, so our kids just relax. We told them to relax. John Burns and the staff did a really nice job of letting both teams know when we could come out. And then when we had about 15 minutes, we said, hey, it's just like starting the game over again. That was our approach.
Emporia State wasn't immune to the weather woes either. East State and Lindenwood were pushed back 12 minutes due to the lightning at Welch Stadium. But once they got going, the ESU defense came up big for the second straight week, keeping the vaunted Lion passing attack grounded. The Hornets win 13-0, getting their first shutout in 47 games. Tyler Eckenrode hit Ray Davis for the game's only touchdown, as Eck has 46 career touchdown passes. Former KU star Aqib Talib has had a standout NFL career, but he's also stood out in the wrong way, in trouble with the law. Well, now Talib has been suspended 4 games for violating the NFL's performance enhancement substance policy. Talib said in a statement today that he took an Adderall pill without a prescription around the beginning of training camp. That means he will not be in action tomorrow when the Bucs host the Chiefs at noon. And finally, Clint Boyer entered tonight's Bank of America 500 in 5th place in the chase for the Cup, 40 points behind first place Brad Keselowski. We pick it up late in the race. Boyer was down a lap early in the race, but he's in the lead, half a second ahead of Denny Hamlin, and he's going to hang on in the pink number 15 5-hour energy car to take home that checkered flag next week. The NASCAR boys will be racing in Kansas. Unofficially, Justin, Boyer moves up to 4th place in those Sprint Cup standings, down just 28 points from first now.